Hello, everybody. My name is Barry John, and welcome back to Tactical Breach Wizards. I have my co-breacher with me today, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Laylite.
So we are currently on our way to our next location, and contact got back to me. There was a guy from Reactor. At bathroom supplies and pornography.
Always ride in style. So I guess that's Jen's cat over there. I guess so.
Yes. Yeah. Jen, being a witch, has a black cat who, and she has, LGBTQ representation there.
And tchotchkes. And souvenirs.
Yeah. Yeah, technically it's her cat carry case there, don't touch. I hope someone gives us. But still on the trail of banks. And trying to still figure out why they need her. Because the background is the same. Alright, so at this point, some of the things show up. We have optional conversations between characters here that I can play. I could probably just summarize them in a separate video or
Sure.
some screenshots later on.
It is understood that a lot of time passed.
Yes. We're still not quite up to getting confidence for anybody else. But we're just going to move on for now, and I will get those off screen later. Oh. Zan's brain. I kind of overclicked there. So this is the excuse for custom player missions, as well as some optional stuff over the course of the game.
Oh
Zen
yeah, good old
just
dream worrying about things.
Yep. Zen may or may not have very large amounts of PTSD, by the way.
Yeah, what could have happened? Oh, yeah. Look, we could just turn this into an awesome dream where we just shoot everybody and win, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Building confidence. Probably in both senses.
Alright, so we have a completely unnamed traffic warlock who totally is not Steve. And Jen has a goal of defenestrating people because, that's what she likes to do. Of note, we now have air canisters as well as other environmental factors. If this blows, he pushes this unit. If they hit a wall, I'm talking my brain there. Basically, it blows up. It pushes people out.
Makes sense. It's not an exploding barrel; it's a venting barrel.
Mm-hmm. But yet, Zan doesn't have anything to do this time. It's all on Jen. So I'm thinking. Here, let me just blow this guy up to show you how it works.
Yeah, we can always
First of
undo
all,
that.
Yeah. You just gonna.
Sure. Chain bolt's pretty good.
Oh, chain bolt is ridiculously good. And then Zan can just clear up. I mean, to be fair to Zan, his dreams usually involve just him, not having, backup.
I'm just glad this is one of those dreams where his gun is firmly in his hands and he just isn't, dropping it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I certainly hope we could defenestrate 3 people in one turn. That's the whole point. That's why you got that upgrade to the chain bolt, right?
Yep. So we can come back anytime we reach this menu here and just do dream training, standalone challenges. This is all optional stuff that we could probably, do in the post game. But the important part, Jen has 3 new possible. I'm talking about 3 possible things to wear here.
And since all these cutscenes are in engine, I suppose she'll also be wearing those when we see a cutscene as well.
Yes. So default desert camo to sort of match Zan's.
Well, I think we're going to the desert, right? Aren't we? Or
Mm-hmm. Jungle tracker and then whiz
So how much do we want to stick out like a sore thumb, or do we actually want to dress for the weather?
But to be fair, we'll spend the 5 confidence to unlock things. So once we spend the 5, we'll have to earn more confidence to unlock something else in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so did you want to pick one here?
It's your call. You're the one playing. Which one do you think is not going to get tiring or like blurry to look at?
Well, personally, in my playthrough, I had everybody except for our second to last character. Well, sorry, the WizTac outfits I find are most interesting in general, but honestly, like, they can go places.
Yeah, I mean, in the context of a puzzle game where, like, this literally doesn't matter, probably just high visibility is the way to go. Despite how little sense that would make in universe.
True. You know what? As I said, I did WizTac a lot, so let's dress for the weather. Have Jen and Zan be, matching pairs for now. Just, yeah, outfits and move on. There we go. And another gimmick is being introduced. Auto turrets.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Well, getting up close might be another matter.
Mm-hmm. So we have the turret. And some places... So turrets can be knocked around a little bit.
At least they're not fast.
They...
Looks like they just fire at the enemy phase just like normal enemies.
Mm-hmm. They're bulky, they're big, they do things. So Zan's job here is to prevent 2 reinforcements from showing up. And Jen wants to finish by the end of turn 3.
Well, sounds like those are in harmony with one another. That's kind of what we want to do, is go fast and be efficient.
Yeah. So there's the one door here that will be spawning reinforcements. Looks like it... Basically, next turn... On the enemy phase of next turn, there'll be 1 reinforcement showing up, but there's 3 total coming out of here. So in order to get Zan's goal there, he's going to need to run up here and, be there by the end of turn 2. Which is good for us because if he stands here in front of the door, he's also standing beside the turret, which means that he can shut it off.
So you'll probably get probably in the left rail menu thing, you'll probably get an extra action to shut off the turret if you're standing next to it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So is that gunman, is he standing next to a broken window?
Yes, he is.
Makes sense.
That is very much a window you can toss somebody out of. And you talked about visibility beforehand. This is the game's way of showing that this is a visible place that you can throw people out
Yeah,
of.
you want some contrast in what would otherwise be a very brown scheme kind of level. I mean, I appreciate there's some color popping out here, like the turrets and those, features on the back wall there. Makes it look a little less like just a brick fort, for something out of Wolfenstein.
One thing I do want to point out, electrified walls. If somebody or something gets hit into them, in this case they'll take 2 damage, additional damage on top of, the impact damage, and they get stunned for a turn, which means they don't act.
This is a nice way of introducing them. They're kind of out of the way. They're something you're naturally going to want to inspect, but they can get more dangerous and tactical later.
Alright, so...
Well, I guess turn 1, you'll just want to move up as far as you can and see if you can knock that tracker out the window, and then try and take cover from the turret.
Yeah, because I can...
Like, unless you want to start shoving your own guys around, I think that's about as far up as you can move. Now, here's actually an interesting thought. You mentioned that you can move the turrets. What happens if you move the turret in front of the reinforcement door? Does that block it?
I don't remember. Okay, so you see how over on the right-hand side it says 1 stability? It means that any knockback to it is reduced by 1.
Makes sense.
I need to be able to deal... So the chain bolt here deals 2 knockback, which means I can hit it and it will move 1 tile with Jen here.
Yeah, so that's how they make it so that only strong pushes can move it. Makes sense. So that way, pushing it with 2 knockback once is better than pushing it with 1 knockback twice.
Yes. Hold on a second here. I just want to... I'm just plotting here, because that
Do you have a clean line of sight from Herschel to the rear turret, the one that's currently way far on the right? Because then you might be able to zigzag from Herschel to the rear turret, and then back to the other turret, so you have a clean line of angle to push it in front of the door.
No, I don't, unfortunately. I have to...
Darn.
You see how it's blocked off?
Yeah, that'd be
However,
a little too
I can
easy.
hit that turret and that turret. Here, I'm just gonna... Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I mean, I guess that means you've set up that turret to be knocked out the window on some future turn, but yeah, that means you're not any closer to blocking off the door. Seems like this might be designed such that you can't block the door on turn 1, though.
No. But as I said, it's basically the end of turn 2 we have to worry about more than anything else. So at this point, I think I'm just going to have Jen static blast you out the window, take cover, and then Zan takes cover as well, because there's no... Zan does have an action, but he can't really do anything against the turret.
Yeah, it's both armored and resists movement, so yeah, those shots are not going to do anything to it.
And Jen is... Sure, she has the Gale Grenade only deals 1 knockback, which isn't enough, and the Chain Bolt extra knockback doesn't really help at this point either.
Yeah, it's almost like the turrets are designed to resist common attacks. Amazing.
Yeah. Alright,
that's interesting. That guy actually moved out of cover and didn't, wait for us to get into range, so that changes everything.
Alright. So, if I were to fire this guy... Hold on. Nope, because he doesn't actually hit the wall, he doesn't take the extra damage there.
Makes sense.
And as for Jen,
one other thing that's a little awkward here that I'm seeing is that the turrets have 1 armor and 4 health, it looks like. So unfortunately, Zen's Predictive Bolt won't quite kill him in one shot, because it only does 4 damage.
Mm-hmm. And putting Zan in a position where he does shoot the Predictive Bolt does put him in a position where he's out of cover.
Exactly. I imagine that you could do some shenaniganry with setting up a Predictive Bolt, making it fire on the player phase, and then because it fired on the player phase, then he can take cover after that, but I'm not seeing a good opportunity to do that this time around.
No. Now, the nice thing about the objective here is that it doesn't have to be Zan who, hold on. Oh, if she takes cover, she's still,
yeah, the turret's got her, but the other guy doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Chain bolt. You.
Alright, that pushed that diagonally.
True, but it's still in a position where Zan can run up here next
yeah, because it's catty corner to the door.
Close that off.
Yeah, perfect. That means you can actually run up to it, shut it off, and shut off the door all in one action, because you don't have to move again.
Mm-hmm.
I do note that none of the custom objectives, the confidence objectives, say you can't take any damage, so it might be worth taking a little bit of damage if it makes everything go smoothly. Because you mentioned that you heal in between maps.
Yes. So say if I were to run here, take cover, she's only going to take 3 damage from the turret here.
Pshaw, only 3.
A little bit. Yeah. But she's basically in the perfect position to deal with both of these next turn. I just want to check something here. Okay, Zan has a predictive bolt here. He's not under fire by the reactor guard or the turret, because the turret is focusing on Jen right now.
Yep.
Which means that whoever this guy pops out, depending on his AI, he may run across the bolt and bad things happen. Does that look good to you?
About as good as you can go with this particular plan, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, that's got some kickback to it, too.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Jen runs up here, seals the door, which, oh, right, we also gotta deal with everything by the end of turn 3. Uh-oh. Because then Zan fires this guy out the window.
Very good.
Yep. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, that'll do it. Jen's used to taking a hit in her line of work, as long as it's not too bad.
Yep. And of course, the natural evolution of the turret is the let's steal a turret.
You think Liv programmed every turret? No, see, that's useful to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we can do these in order here.
All right, let's
this
hack
is the one that ends the conversation.
Yeah, seems reasonable when you're in this line of work. Be polite, be efficient, have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
And he has used his precog to figure out her name and her ID and password.
To look over her shoulder without actually looking over her shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, hey, neat drone.
Well, we could use all the help we could get.
Yep. But you see how the turret is here in the corner?
Oh, can we fool it into making it think we're going somewhere where we actually aren't?
But read the description of false prophet and use it to make the turret waste its shot. Zan, finish with all team members at full health, and Jen, finish by the end of turn 2. So, false prophet. Sends out a false premonition of yourself which expires at the end of the 4C phase. Basically, I can run up here.
Alright, we can create a false future.
And now the false prophet is drawing the aggro of the turret, because the turret doesn't see anything. Oh, by the way, did you know that the false prophet can also shoot?
Oh, of course it can, because it's Zan.
Yeah. Hold on. Jen's just gonna go here, grab the intel. And that is Zan's support fire in play.
Very handy.
Jen used her basic attack, and Zan followed up on it. But now the turret is aiming at the false prophet, and we're in a position to deal with just this guy on the next turn and hijack the turret.
It's a bit nerve-wracking to hack the turret while the turret has line of sight on you, but, well, okay, that was easy. Guess it really was one of those passwords, huh?
Yep. But now the line from the turret is now blue, showing it's friendly, not red of being an enemy.
Isn't that knocking the guy into you for damage?
Yes, which is why...
Oh, we'll just
I'm going to do that.
Forward, make some room. There we go.
Yep, and as you can see in the 4C phase, everybody's actions are numbered, so we see the turret goes first before the guy shoots.
Ah, so that's how we implement computerized speed without making it too fast.
Mm-hmm. But that looks all solved to me, and we're still being, tutorialized about turrets.
We will learn.
I think they got bit by insects.
Let's hope it's insects.
At least, they're conveniently going to get the team medic. Tank?
Well, let's check. There could be.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the heavy gunner.
The big guy.
His gimmick is that not only is he basically a walking turret, But even if you're in cover, he still will deal 1 point of damage to you if he has an angle on you.
Alright, take him out as best you can. But he resists knockback, our favorite trick. What will we do?
Alright,
well, it's a good thing we've got all these air canisters around.
Yep. I'm also pointing out that Zan wants to predictive fire before the 4C phase, and Jen wants to finish by the end of turn 3. Finishing before the end of turn 3 is going to be difficult no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, it looks like our best weapons against the heavy gunner are like point-blank knockback into the desk that he's standing next to, possibly with the air canister's help, or managing to do the predictive bolt on him during the player phase.
Alright, but let's breach and let's see what we got going here. Now, if we come, you see there's another mid-breach door here, which we can use to, get around him to get to the turret control if we needed to.
Yeah, sounds like that's kind of more like a backup mechanism. I think in principle we ought to be able to get rid of him with the tools we have, but we're gonna have to get creative. So, can we push the canisters themselves around?
Yes, we can. Here, let me push like that.
Alright, that's handy. We got a diagonal push there. He's already half dead.
Yep, because kinetic damage, yeah, it's still reduced by it's not reduced by armor, but we still want to get him in a position where...
yeah, like, I guess ideally... Yeah, he's got, knockback resistance, but otherwise all the knockback, like, that actually goes through on him still does full damage. That ignores armor.
Okay. I got a stupid idea here.
Let's hear it.
Jen comes here. Breach is here. Now she's got line of sight to this guy here. Zan sets up predictive bolt this way.
Oh, there we go.
Chain.
I see what you're putting down.
Let's see.
Do an alley loop. There we go.
Yep.
Very efficient. This is what happens when you leave targetable objects lying around.
Yep. But I don't need to throw out a false prophet at this point.
Yeah, I can see how that would require mana. That's pretty powerful.
I'm just looking here.
Like, both the time boost and the false prophet give you extra actions, but they're different flavors of extra actions.
I'm just looking here. We've still got 2 more turns to complete everything, which means taking you out and opening that door and sealing this door.
Well, sounds like the turret ought to be able to take care of the sniper.
True. Alright. Zan, run up here. Seal the door. Hack the turret.
Well, nobody's standing next to the laptop, but I guess we can just get that next turn.
Yeah.
Never saw it coming.
Oh.
Very efficient.
Yeah, it just ended that. Yeah, it ended at that point because, there was nothing else the opponents could do.
Yeah, no more enemies and no more reinforcements.
So we didn't have to worry about getting to the objective there.
That's handy.
That's a very specific description, Jen.
Sounds like she's heard of this before. When it comes to dealing with wizards of any kind, knowledge is power.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. You're putting a lot of faith in a doctor who might not have their supplies handy. So, we have a problem. Zan is losing 1 point of health per turn.
Got it.
He's going to be... his movement is restricted, so he's basically only able to move 2 tiles per turn. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up here. And Jen wants to finish before the end of turn 4. We might not be able to complete these, but I understand.
Well,
there is our goal, but...
Well, at least there's not that many people in here yet, so we have been making good time.
Yeah. So there's going to be there's going to be reinforcements here, reinforcements here.
Now see, those red barrels have the warning sign on them.
Oh yeah, they're classic.
There we go. There's the explosive barrel.
Oh! Oh! That's nice. So, at work, I received MSDS training because of stuff I handle.
Those are properly labeled?
That's compressed gas. Yeah. Those are within the limits of, the game's graphics. These are properly
Yeah, that
labeled.
looks like an explosive, like gas canister, like propane or something like that.
Yeah, and that's got the little mini compressor on top. But enough lollygagging, we got work to do.
I mean, he's still a perfectly good unit. He just can't move as far. And, as we know from Into the Breach, it's okay if you're set on fire as long as you don't die before the mission is done. So you just gotta go fast.
Yep.
Now,
right,
I think we found in the earlier mission, I think if we knock the tracker back into the sniper's got enough trigger discipline not to just shoot his friend. Oh, never mind that. This is why we double check.
Yep. Leave that as it is for now. Have Jen can run up here. I'm just debating chain lightning. Yeah, hold on. Grab the intel. I'm just gonna see which direction. Oh! I can't chain.
If you chain to the tracker, can you chain to the... Yeah, there you go. That's one option.
Hold on. I'm just gonna... Here, hold on. Back up here. Chain bolt. Because if I do this, this guy's gonna get knocked back. But I don't think he's gonna be able to shoot him when the... Here, I'm just gonna tap you as well for... Yeah, no.
Yeah, that like all of those pushes process first. Then if there were any auto attacks remaining, they would process, but he's already dead.
Yeah. So the question is, do we want to take out the tracker now and then just push this guy out on the next turn, or...
Yeah, Zan's shot might be able to set up that sniper shot, and then you might be able to chain bolt after that.
Because if I do that, he gets shot there, and then Jen can do that. That
at least gets the air canister near the door. Then you might be able to, like, Gale Grenade it next to it next turn or something.
Yeah, it also depends on where this guy goes and where this guy goes on their turns.
Yeah. But that seems like a plausible... Like, you made a good solid entrance, you've moved up a bit. Zan's just gonna have to, be our sniper from back there, I think, for the most part. And of course, Jen's gonna rush in.
Mm-hmm. Because Zan's also got False Prophet to provide a distraction if needed.
So it seems like about as good as we can manage with the resources we've got. That was pretty efficient.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see what we got coming.
So we'll just deal with the air canister still being in the middle because we can use it later.
Oh god. So this guy fired off a grenade. And if we don't move Zan, he's going to get exploded by a grenade.
I guess Zan should probably go to the other corner so he can still hide behind the other desk from whatever else is going on.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. I just want to see what happens when I blow this. And false prophet.
False prophet sure seems like a good decoy to handle the heavy gunner, if possible, but it looks like it can only take the one hit. Does it have 1 or 2 health? I can't quite tell.
It has 1 health.
Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, it can't really be a distraction for anybody more than one target, but it's pretty good at distracting one target.
Yeah. Alright, so we have the Gale Grenade. I want to delete this guy this turn if we can.
Yeah, he's the most dangerous. The turret is honestly less scary than he is.
Because I'm thinking with knockback, I'm just looking at my options here. You.
Yeah.
I just want to see how this works. Oh.
That turret moved a lot farther than I thought it would. Was there an air canister mixed in there?
Yes. Alright, nope, he didn't get knocked around.
Yeah, because he has 1 knockback resistance, so he just doesn't go anywhere from Gale Grenade. You could knock the canister into him, however, which shifts him over to the wall at least, but then he's still intact.
Yeah, rewind.
What would be better is if you could nudge him a little bit so that he was next to the turret, and then air canister knocking him into the turret seems like it would be a lot more useful.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's not really in a position where you can use the explosive barrels on him.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're really close enough to hack the turret this turn either. That's more of a next turn thing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this and thinking, chain bolt. That, no. No, that won't work. I was thinking of, say, pushing this guy up here, pushing this guy this way if possible, and then detonating this over here. Or detonating this guy while it's over here somehow.
I have one more question to ask while we're checking out different options. Can Zan's predictive bolt go over top of the explosive barrel that's on that column near him, or will the barrel block his shot? How high is that canister?
Oh, let's find out here. Jen, for the purposes of science, I need you to I need you to do that. It goes over the barrel.
Okay, that's good to know. So that's potentially plausible. Like, I'm seeing a line where if Zan moves over in that column with the explosive barrel, you might be able to... Oh, wait, no, actually, he's already... The tank guy with the big heavy rifle, yeah, he's already in that column, so that's less exciting than it was earlier.
Mm-hmm. And Zan doesn't want to be standing in any of these spots when the grenade goes off.
That's true, yeah, there's already a grenade there. Yeah, so Zan is just not allowed to get hit.
Yeah. But we can give Jen a second action as well, if need be. So Jen could set stuff up here. Grab intel.
Yeah, that does seem to be one of the best places she has of standing, because then the tracker is next to the explosive barrel, and she at least has an angle on the heavy gunner.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able to maybe chain the tracker into the heavy gunner to knock him back one, and then is there anything else interesting to do after that?
I'm just looking here, because...
Yeah, because unfortunately you can't really then, like, finish up by shoving the explosive barrel into the heavy... not the explosive one, the air canister into the heavy gunner, which seems like your best offensive option against him.
I'm just gonna check something here. Chain bolt, you move you forward, then... No. Cancel. Chain bolt, you... No.
Yeah, because I would imagine that probably the pushes get processed in order of the targets that you select. So probably if you push your first target into position, then you're allowed to push your third target into the first target's new position, is I imagine what's happening.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think you can't really chain in that direction, though, because your only real diagonal angles are if you hit the explosive barrel that Jan's standing right next to, which is not good from her current position. Like, if you chain to the red barrel, then you could chain there. Also, that is a good point. You could chain off a false prophet as well, if you need to.
True. Okay. I want to deal with you because you've kind of got people flanked. Send out a false prophet to draw. I think it may be a little too awkward to try and take this guy out this turn.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like things are in really good positions for that. Like, the barrels are just kind of not quite right, and you need like 2 actions to deal like part of his health. It might not be good. The only other thing I can maybe see working is if you could shove the explosive barrel diagonally, but it might knock into the desk and explode instead of sliding over next to him.
Hold on a bit. Let's...
Yeah, because that'll just be 2 diagonal pushes where the first diagonal takes it next to the white desk, and then the second diagonal one bumps into the desk and it'll explode.
But if I drop a Gale Grenade here...
then it can go diagonally.
Then Jen can... Yeah. Because I want to... Okay, how do I get
at the very end, I think Zan could probably just shoot the red barrel next to the tracker.
Yeah, false prophet. Let's just send out the false prophet to draw aggro. That takes care of him. Leaves cover. Yeah, no, that does not going to work there. I'd need to chain bolt.
Yeah, like, I guess you would probably need to... Yeah, like Yeah, I just don't think I see a good route for the red barrel to get all the way over to the heavy.
Yeah, this is awkward here. Zan takes cover as well. Everybody shoots at the false prophet. I think next turn I'm just going to have to steal the turret and work from there.
Yeah, that sounds plausible. I mean, we are improvising here. This does a good job of, thematically showing that off, as well as mechanically.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the turret will shoot the false prophet, and then the heavy will probably retarget, I guess, which could be awkward.
I don't think it does.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. take cover.
I mean, I guess that's what 4C
So,
is for, is for questions like that.
Okay, yeah, so that just leaves us like that. And then this will be Zan's last turn being active.
Yep. Then he'll just have to take a nap.
Or, yeah. He's an old man. He could use a nap. Okay.
Oh, it's the heavy that's
Jen
throwing the
is
grenades. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, but now we should have just enough action economy to fix this all up, especially since he committed the classic video game enemy mistake of taking cover behind an explosive barrel.
Alright, let's shoot you like that. Then Jen can chain bolt you like that.
Solid.
And then you'll shoot. Unfortunately, no predictive bolt for Zan, but that's okay.
Good enough.
Good enough. Oh, Hold on, shoot. Oh, damn it. I forgot that, check the doors properly. There was still one guy coming out through there, that door there. We
can't quite reach it this turn.
No, but there's no more enemies coming out the door, so... I'm just going to let the turret finish the job. Jen gets her job done, but Zan's too busy taking a nap to...
Alright, not a stylish victory, not one with panache, but a victory nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. So, well, I think that's it for Zan. Do you want to call it here and say pick up from this point next time?
Sure, sounds like you'd like to do that, so that's a good note to end on.
Yep. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you later. Stop.